mango batter. I'm gonna add a sazon to it. So that's I added the mango, the Mike's Hard Lemonade. This is no salt added. So there is salt in it, but they didn't add any additional salt. So this is for, I added about a half a packet. So this is Friday. We're celebrating Juneteenth. Use like 1/4 teaspoon. Mix this in with our fried. Just frying one fish. You can fry as much fish as you want to fry. You can deep fry it. Just gonna use a little Cola Vita olive oil. You can use grapeseed oil. Remember they fry a little quicker, so it's not like corn oil. You know, you can add a little botticelli. So we're just gonna add 1 tablespoon of Cola Vita. You can add botticelli, olive oil, palmero. Try to keep your So just spread the olive oil in the frying pan. So, you know, it's not a deep fry, just a little. 1 tablespoon of olive oil, spread it around the frying pan, and then cover it. You can cover it, and you can buy pot lids. So I stirred, I made this batter in the fish. The sazon is orange, so it gives it a nice orange, Caribbean, Latin American flavor. They were slaves in Latin America. So Africans were enslaved in Latin America. So I'm going to show you, this is the fish that I have in the batter. Batter, you don't have to use batter. Let me add coconut milk to it. You don't have to use a batter. You can just dip it in flour with the same seasoning without the coconut milk. Or you can use the coconut milk, dip it in, and then dip it in the flour for like a dry way to fry it. So I'm going to add this coconut milk. You can use low-fat coconut milk. I'm going to use about 1 tablespoon coconut milk. As we cook this, so I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, Farberware measuring tool as we wait for the mayor of New York City. So about 2 tablespoons, add that to that. Mix this coconut milk. Add a little olive oil in there. Just not too medium high, but maybe in between medium high. You can cook the fish. You don't want the batter to cook before the fish is cooked. Fish completely cooked. So this is the batter, it's wet. You don't have to add a lot of liquid to it. You can just add the flour, the oatmeal, the sazon, and then maybe just fried flour if you want to. And then cover, we're going to cover it with a lid, a hole in it. did have a hole in it. Cover this, cook this for about 20 minutes until it's completely cooked. We're boiling our corn and our potato salad. You know, this is Juneteenth potato salad. And you know, we don't need the batter. What am I making with the batter here? Add sazon to this batter, and we're going to make another type of fried shrimp. I'm going to add a little Old Bay. So you don't add a lot of Old Bay and sazon if you want to. So you can add Captain Morgan rum to this. You can add rum. It's like Caribbean rum. I'm going to add a little granulated garlic. This is for our fried shrimp. Pre-cooked shrimp. This is Black Music Month. I know BET celebrates Black Music Month, and the BET Awards is going to be soon. So add about 2 tablespoons of granulated garlic. And then we have our shrimp. So we don't have a lot of shrimp. I'm just cooking a little, but y'all can cook as much as you want. Just add a few of the shrimp to the batter. And make sure you keep the shrimp, you have to cook this quickly. And we add our Old Bay. So we have our black pepper here. And the mayor is speaking. So let's hear what he's saying.
All the things we grew up seeing and were horrified by, but then it continues in ways that are extraordinarily painful, sometimes subtle, sometimes unspoken, whether it's in our criminal justice system or in all the symbols that pervade our society. So our city has long prided itself in being a beacon, and in many ways we are to the world. Our city has a lot to be proud of in terms of being a place where everyone could come together and do something different. But our city also has a very painful history. Slavery was alive and well in New York City for a long time. New York City gained much of its prominence and wealth from slavery. Redlining, discrimination of every form existed here in liberal, progressive New York City for generations. In too many ways, discrimination is alive and well today. Structural racism pervades this city in ways that are still not acknowledged and recognized. We have to change that. And it's going to be a very difficult, challenging process, but we can do it because this city has proven itself capable of taking on immense challenges before. Now, the fact is that there's been an incessant effort over centuries of this country's history and this city's history to sweep under the rug these truths. And this is why Juneteenth is so important, because it is a day for truth-telling. It is a day for examination and shining a light. And it's a holiday that, in fact, millions and millions of Americans don't even know exists. But now, as it comes to the fore, it is perfect as a moment for change, for transformation. We know this is one of those rare historical moments where all things are possible. And we've seen it play out not only in the voices that have been raised over the last weeks for change, profound change, the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people marching all over the country, but we saw it in the months before, the horror at the disparities dredged up by the coronavirus, and the fact that it was clear we could not go back to a broken status quo, and we were being handed, even through the pain, a transformational moment that could only be compared to what our forebears experienced in the 1930s, when so many of the great changes occurred in this country, or our forebears experienced in the 1950s and 60s with the Civil Rights Movement. Whether it's the New Deal, the Civil Rights Movement, or any other historical marker you want to choose, this is a transformational moment, and I promise you our city will lead the way. Starting next year, Juneteenth will be an official city holiday, an official New York City schools holiday. We'll work with all the unions to work through the plan, give this day the importance and recognition it deserves. Every student, city worker, every student will have an opportunity to reflect on the meaning of our history and the truth, and to think about the work that we have to do ahead. Because one thing that is profoundly clear in the history of African people in this country is that through the pain and struggle came an extraordinary purposefulness and vision, the ability to see change and act on change, make change occur. The movements led by African American people changed this country to the core and will continue to. So this is just a beginning to acknowledge this holiday, but we have a lot more to do. I want to turn to two very important people to me to tell you more. And I want to preface by saying both are dear to me, one as a dear friend and one as the love of my life and my partner in all things. They co-chair our task force on racial inclusion and equity. But each brings to this not just their own extraordinary experience, and I know from with absolute certainty I've watched for decades the work of change that each of them have done, but they bring history with them as well. Phil Thompson talked so powerfully a few days ago about his own family's experience with slavery, about his own forebears being enslaved by the family of Robert E. Lee. He will now talk about the power and meaning of Juneteenth.
I think the slaves make
Our First Lady, Chirlane McCray, comes from a family filled with pride over generations. Her great-grandmother, follower, and Lieutenant Marcus Garvey. These are people who have the struggle and the fight in their bloodstream, and they're acting on it now through this task force right now. So with that, I'll turn first to Deputy Mayor Phil Thompson, and then to First Lady Chirlane McCray.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Juneteenth, sometimes called Freedom Day, celebrates the end of the enslavement of people of African descent in the United States. It also represents the end of the Civil War, a war that claimed the lives of over 700,000 people in a nation of 30 million at the time. Today, this would be the equivalent of over 6 million lives lost. Why was the Civil War so hard fought? The bodies of black slaves in 1861 represented the largest stock of property in the entire country. The Civil War was a war over the rights of property owners versus human rights, the basic right of black people to equality. And it was a blow against the myth of black inferiority. Second, millions of white farmers and workers realized that if the powerful slave aristocracy continued, the slave owners would grab all of the most valuable land west of the Mississippi and all of the key resources of the country and leave them destitute as well. The early women's movement saw the fight against slavery as a blow against the denial of equal rights of all people, and they believed that the fight against slavery would strengthen the struggle of women for equality, and they were all correct. Juneteenth has an international aspect. The fight for freedom was always international. Over 1 million New Yorkers descend from slave families that experienced slavery outside the borders of the United States, whether in the Caribbean, Central America, or Latin America. The long Haitian Revolution against slavery that ended in 1804 inspired and directly supported anti-slavery activists in the United States. The Haitian Revolution was itself aided by Simón Bolívar and the Venezuelan liberation movement. The Irish liberation movement and British anti-slavery movements contributed heavily to the war against slavery in the United States. French anti-slavery activists commissioned the construction of the Statue of Liberty in 1866 in honor of the American defeat of slavery the year before, and they raised the money to build it themselves. Juneteenth also contains a reminder, not just for African Americans, but for all people who believe in democracy and equality. June 19, 1865, is the day that federal troops arrived in rural Texas and informed slaves there that they were free. Congress had actually freed slaves 2 years earlier with the 13th Amendment, and the Confederate Army had been defeated 2 months early. But this information had been hidden from black people in rural Texas. The reminder is that freedom and democracy doesn't live on a piece of paper. Democratic rights have to be understood and acted upon by the people, or else they will not exist. Our Department of Education, as the New York City philosopher John Dewey argued, is a critical institution for cultivating active citizenship and sustaining democracy, first and foremost among young people. Our Department of Education is using Juneteenth today to impart important lessons from the Black struggle for freedom to all of our young people. Today, teachers citywide have lesson plans focused on Juneteenth and its meaning today. Perhaps the anti-slavery leader Frederick Douglass summarized it best. Without struggle, there is no progress, and power conceives nothing without demand.
Deputy Mayor, now with a very important announcement. Thank you for the great work of the task force in preparing for this. Our First Lady, Chirlane McCray.
Today, we proudly announce the formation of a Racial Justice and Reconciliation Commission to establish a definitive historical record of racial discrimination in New York City. This commission is designed to provide New Yorkers a platform to voice their experiences. It will also promote social learning, collective introspection, and other measures to tear down the barriers to true equality. The Commission will identify policy areas where discrimination exists, including employment, housing, criminal justice, environment, education, and health. New York City is the first major United States city or state to undergo a comprehensive truth and reconciliation process. A few words in Spanish. Este comité fue diseñado para ofrecer a los neoyorquinos una plataforma para expresar sus experiencias. El comité identificará
And we're gonna
áreas
fly
y
Asian
políticas
rice
donde
with some little
existe
black beans in the
discriminación,
Caribbean.
incluyendo asuntos de
Caribbeans
vivienda,
eat rice,
justicia
and the
penal,
others just gonna make it with
justicia
little
ambiental,
ginger.
educación y mucho más.
So we have to add
It
a
is
little
fitting
more
that we
coconut
announce the
milk to
commission
this.
on the holiday
So
of
we're gonna add
Juneteenth,
about
first celebrated in
1
Texas
cup
on
or
June
1.5 cups maybe
19,
of coconut
1865.
milk instead of
The Civil War had ended. Enslaved people
dairy
in
milk.
Texas were legally free, but that truth, as Deputy Mayor Thompson said, was deliberately withheld by the enslavers, allowing them to maintain the labor force on the plantations. In this moment of reckoning, in 2020, protesters are chanting, "Black Lives Matter," from coast to coast, demanding that this country live up to its ideals. The Commission will work to explode the false narratives we have lived with for far too long and make plain the truth that even in 2020, to be a person of color means to live a parallel existence with white New Yorkers. That reality needs to be understood beyond communities of color. That truth must inform the curricula in our schools, our history books, the memorials we honor, and even how we perceive one another. The Racial Justice and Reconciliation Commission will collect the information and stories we need to educate and inform, to spur a deeper understanding of the frustration, anger, and guilt produced when we talk about race. The Commission will examine how the disease of racism has infected all facets of our lives in New York City, from the disruption of families to the seizure of land and other hard-earned assets. From the parade of humiliations that declare we are worthless human beings to the systems that thwart the ability to accumulate wealth, racism has shaped our everyday practices and policies and is reflected in our behaviors and our norms. Terms like institutional and structural racism
So you
do
can
not
use
do
the,
justice
general
to
election
their
and
toll
mix
and
them.
suffering
You can
and
mix
the
them with
incredible
onion
waste
that, and
of
then-
human
and then
potential.
a pear.
It does not get at the devastation of being passed over for jobs, rejected for bank loans, intelligence questioned or denied by teachers, qualifications challenged. It does not get at the insult of being followed in stores or the agony of imagining your son dead or injured when he is simply out late with a friend. Why have Black and brown communities been disproportionately decimated by COVID-19? Why are our underpaid and dying essential workers mostly people of color? Why do Black and brown New Yorkers have less education, less wealth, and poorer health overall than white New Yorkers? How have immigration policies been designed to pit ethnic minorities against each other with stereotypes placed upon Asian Americans such as the model minority? The work begins by admitting that too often we claim and perpetuate a story that is incomplete or simply not true. The house my family and I have the privilege of living in, Gracie Mansion, was built in 1799 by people who were enslaved and indentured servants, a fact that is not detailed in any of the official books about the residents that I have read. Although Gracie held membership in New York's Manumission Society, whose mission was to end slavery, I found out only yesterday that Archibald Gracie held in bondage 3 Americans named Sarah, Abram, and Charles Short. As a trade merchant between Great Britain and the new American Republic, Gracie's name lives on as a success story. His wealth and prominence relied on the export of goods like cotton, tobacco, and indigo, all produced through the labor of people who were enslaved. The lives and the voices of Sarah, Abram, and Charles have been lost to history.
Small pieces.
The festering wounds of history have not healed. Blood continues to spill on our streets. Trauma is passed down from generation to generation. The protests continue. As New Yorkers and as Americans, we live with a plague of half-truths that tangle and restrain all of
I was
us.
a Girl Scout.
As
Y'all
Fannie
Girl
Lou
Scouts
Hamer
is fun.
said,
You can't be a Girl
none of
Scout,
us
you can
are
be a
free
counselor.
until all of us are
I'm
free.
sure they background check. Criminal background check.
Reconciliation is not an alternative to justice, but it is necessary to build trust. We can correct the record. We can clean our wounds. We can begin anew when the truth is told. And that is possible now more than ever in this world of instant connection and interconnectedness. I believe that our dreams are more powerful than the pain and the facts that have come before us. And hope is the
You can watch
ability to
this
see
conference
light
on
despite the
I
pain.
think local
So let us move
news
forward.
channels,
Thank you.
like CBS and maybe.
Thank you so much. It was very beautiful and very powerful. Shirlane and I were talking over the last couple of days about why such a commission is needed, why this approach has helped bring out truths and lead to action around the world. And she offered one immediate example that really struck me. So much of the life of this city, the physical reality of this city, was built upon the racist precepts of an architect and builder, a government official named Robert Moses. And the fact that we live in a physical reality that was explicitly created to divide and segregate is an example of how much we have to examine and undo. And I think everyone understands, listening to Shirlane's words and Phil's words, this will be difficult, painstaking work. But it has to happen. Acknowledging the truth, recognizing the structures that must be changed, and putting ourselves to the work, no matter how many months and years it takes, is the right way forward for the city. And we have to, in every way we can, send a message of change. You know, a couple of weeks ago, Shirlane and I had a powerful meeting at Gracie Mansion. Again, made more powerful by the facts that Shirlane just acknowledged about its history. We sat with activists, leaders of the Black Lives Matter movement, families who had lost loved ones, police violence. And one of the things that they said would help immediately to move the city forward was to acknowledge the power of the phrase Black Lives Matter and make it a part of the life of the city. So we announced that we would start to, in streets all over the city, create murals that would send this message loud and clear that this was the view of New York City. And the images you see there from Bed-Stuy Sunday, I was so honored
So you
go and
remember
see
Kobe promotes,
the artists, the
his
community
Wisdom
members,
Art series.
all together
So
creating something new
it's something the kids
right there in the
can
middle of
read.
Bed-Stuy that sends a message to New York City and the whole world. I want to thank and acknowledge Councilmember Robert Cornegy, who helped to lead the way in creating this powerful mural. Being there was really, really moving. It felt like a moment where change was being declared and strengthened and energized, and we have more to do. So we will now proceed to paint murals at locations around the 5 boroughs: Center Street in Manhattan, Richmond Terrace in Staten Island, Girolamo Street in Brooklyn, 153rd Street in Queens, and Morris Avenue in the Bronx. They will all be completed over the next 3 weeks. And I ask all New Yorkers to recognize the power. Lives matter. And we will back up that belief with action after action
There
after
are going to be
action.
5 street mural locations
Bring
across
it
New
to
York
life
City
in
for
more and
Black
more
Lives
ways
Matter
in this city.
murals. Central Street in Manhattan, Richmond Terrace in Staten Island, Girolamo Street
So
in
as
Brooklyn,
Shirlane said,
153rd Street in Queens, and Morris Avenue in
so
the
much of the
Bronx.
recognition that we are talking about today, so much of what we want to grapple with was made even clearer by the tragedy of the coronavirus, by the shocking, overt disparities, by the pain caused by this disease. We will never forget how discriminatory this disease has been and continues to be. We're going to act every day to
So
address
I'm the only producer of
that
this show.
disparity. The one thing that everyone has a common interest in is defeating this disease once and for all, so we can get on with the work of transformation and change. So I'll conclude today with what we do every day. And I'm happy to say again today, because of all the work that you all have done, every single New Yorker, acting as one family, one team, that today we have good news again. Indicator 1, the daily number of people admitted to
He's
hospitals.
talking about the pandemic, but let's talk about beets and Goya. So Goya has beets,
Indicator 2, the daily number of people at
and
hospitals. ICUs
you can purchase the beets at a grocery store. Or
And the most important indicator.
So I'm gonna make a beet pear cake, adding a little cinnamon.
For COVID-19, the threshold is 15%, and once again today, only 2% tested positive.
So these are sliced beets,
Everyone, please, for the good of all of us, go get tested. It is
and
easy, it
you
is
can
fast,
purchase
it is
Goya
free, and it will help us
beets.
move forward as a city. Few words in Spanish.
I'm only sexually attracted to men.
Por generaciones, nuestra nación ha sufrido.
Therefore, my website is mostly about heterosexuals. Yet I respect people, sexual orientations. So the canned vegetables, they have the sliced beets.
En el camino se cambia. No vamos a parar hasta que esta ciudad sea un lugar de igualdad y justicia para todos. With that, we'll turn to our colleagues in the media. Please let me know the name and outlet of each journalist. Juliet, 10 seconds.
Oh, hi, good morning, Mr. Mayor and everyone.
So
on
my
the
mother
call. How are you?
made this campfire cake once,
I'm fine,
and
thank you.
also
Yesterday,
the Girl Scouts of America taught us how to cook cake
called for the removal
on a
of the
campfire.
Jefferson statue from the council chamber. What are your thoughts on? Commission now perhaps looking at that as well?
Exactly right, Juliet. This is exactly the kind of thing that this new commission needs to examine.
So isn't it great that this New York City is now declaring June 19th a city holiday?
But I think it is a time to evaluate the entire look and feel of this city. And a commission that's focused on justice and reconciliation can really think
Goya
about
has
a bigger
recipes
approach
that have chocolate ghost cupcakes with beet and guava, and that's on Goya.com.
Did you have a follow-up, Julie?
And yes, actually, I do have another question relating to reopening of the city. What are the plans for getting city workers back to work? Is there a process underway to review?
So with the Intelligent Luxury, Culinary, Literary, and Sociology Trade Show, we're going to talk about
When do you think that's going to happen?
the start where different vegetables, fruits, spices are located. There's Pablo Lakshmi's book about spices. So it's really interesting to go research
Juliet, there's
about
still
spices.
a number of city workers who will be able to continue doing their work remotely for the time being, but there's others who now will be able to come back. We're putting in place a lot of the same precautions we're going to see in any and all offices and institutions. Social distancing, markers, checks to make sure that people are healthy before they come to work. Lots of specifics around cleanliness standards. All that is being put together. You will see more people coming back to work in phase 2. Those instructions are going to be sent out. But again, for the foreseeable future, you also see a number of city workers continue to work remotely, obviously, including our educators.
We're cooking our fish batter.
Hi everyone. Mr. Mayor, I wanted to ask, yesterday you were asked about the council's chokehold bill, which you said
That's a
you
little
were going
burnt,
to
that's
sign.
fine. On one side,
But I don't
put it
believe you
on
were
the
asked, one
Little
of your
dark.
concerns was that it didn't contain any
I'm sure y'all won't burn it.
where
We have our
officers
Goya
might
sliced
be in danger
beets.
if far as I understand,
And I'm
though,
gonna
that
add the beets
provision is
to
not included in the bill. And
the
so,
cake.
given that, I'm wondering why you changed your mind and chose
Stir
to
the
support
beets
it
into the batter.
Yeah, I think
We have a beet and
I
pear
now see
cake.
that honestly the information I had at the time I don't think was the whole truth. And it's a good time to reflect for all of us on what we got right, what we got wrong, what we understood, what we didn't understand. I now believe, based on consultation with some additional lawyers, that there are those protections
Now you could add baking
state law.
powder.
And
You add about a teaspoon of baking powder.
will achieve the goal, making sure there are never chokeholds used against the people in New York City. But there will be appropriate ways in state law still to protect any officer who's doing the right thing, doing their job the way they're supposed to, and is fighting for their life. I think the way I understood the situation previously wasn't told, and I have to own up to that. And I had information, I thought I was working for the right information, I now believe I wasn't, honestly. So now I am really quite clear that this bill can achieve its purpose and is the right policy for the city of New York.
Okay, thank you. And I apologize because I missed Juliet's second question, although I heard remote learning the term. Hopefully I'm not repeating her question.
If you don't have baking powder, I think maybe you can use baking soda. If you Google how to substitute baking soda for baking powder, just adding about a teaspoon of baking powder,
Yeah, thank you, Yoav. That's a very important question. Again, for special ed
mixing it in with the
have
beets.
so many challenges they deal with every day.
And I'm gonna add banana chips. This is a Caribbean. Imagine the Caribbeans make cake.
In-person learning again. We are trying to figure out right now. There's a way
Caribbeans were also
I want to say
where in the Caribbean, in the West Indies, there were people that were enslaved.
and it's going to be interactive, obviously, with what we see happening with the disease, and we continue to make progress. Today,
So
we do not
stir,
have,
stir, stir in the banana chips.
but it's something I've asked the chancellor to
You can use
examine.
real bananas if you have real bananas.
If there are additional things we can do to help special ed parents, I'd like to
Then we're gonna add a little sugar.
get to work on it.
Next is Mark Morales, CNN. Hey, good morning, everybody. How you
So
doing?
my mom had the book The Joy of Cooking. So and my grandmother taught me how to make cakes from scratch. So you know, if you want to make a normal cake, you add eggs, a little milk, add coconut milk to this. I'm using about 1/3 a cup of sugar, not a lot of sugar.
Proactive groups within the department, and the loss of them.
So you don't need a lot of sugar. Added oatmeal, maple oatmeal, the Quaker Oats instant oatmeal, a little fiber, beets, pears, one pear cut, and this is what we're doing. What I'm doing actually.
Yeah, I'll say it broadly. Obviously, Commissioner Shea can give you a much more detailed answer, but look, as he and I discussed it in recent days, it is so consistent with everything that I have heard him say going back to 2014.
So I'm showing you all the battery kind of broken one side. You know,
I'm
sure y'all
brain power.
just use another
It's
quick
about
can.
planning and strategy. It's about using technology. There's so many ways to go at trying
And we can make a little potatoes, french fries with this.
and other
I want
approaches.
to see if we're gonna have potato salad.
Is not just about the
So
work
there
that
you
was
go, there's your
worked
battered
on,
fish,
obviously,
tastes pretty good.
by that unit.
Yeah,
And that
that.
unit, as much as I believe
And
a lot of
that's
members of that unit were really
representative of
something
the slaves that lived in the Caribbean. A lot of Irish plantation owners,
problem in many
British,
cases at the community level that it
and Irish overseers.
with community members who had nothing to do with crime. It's not the same by any stretch of stop and frisk, but I think there is some resonance with the point that a strategy that had its roots
We
in
cooked
the
our
notion of addressing
our
crime
fish.
turned into, in some ways, something
We're gonna add
that
our
was
shrimp.
counterproductive. And Commissioner Shea believes that the only way you make the city safer is by creating a very different way we're talking about the justice that has to be.
So we just have to scoop out some of the bottom.
But also, if we're going to stop crime, we have to change that relationship deeply. Mark, I think the simple answer is these police officers will continue to fight crime. They'll use some different approaches and tools. But the commissioner believes, and I believe, that with those
extortion is illegal in the United States.
crime just as effectively, if not
So add a little oil
more
and
cooperation.
add a little Palermo. This is canola oil and extra virgin olive oil,
I know that shootings
cholesterol
are-
free.
are happening
It's about 1
trending.
tablespoon.
What about specifically about stopping those shootings and bringing them down to numbers that we've seen in the recent past?
I'm gonna add.
Yeah, the shooting issue is very real, and it worries me deeply.
So we're done with our batter.
Timeline over recent weeks, not good. I know Commissioner Shea, Chief Monahan, everyone is working on new strategies to address it. I think the restart of our entire criminal justice system will help everyone in the courts begin again, and we go back to having appropriate prosecutions of gun violence. So that, I do think, will organically change the situation. There's no question NYPD will employ constantly changing strategies to address it. They have in past years, and I have great confidence they'll find a way. And we're going to put more and more resources into the peer violence movement and the crisis management system, which has proven to be extraordinarily effective in stopping gun violence before it happens and mediating conflict. So we made a major investment a few days back into the crisis management system. We'll be doing a lot more of that going forward because I really think this is one of the most elemental ways to stop gun violence.
Next is Henry from Bloomberg.
Well, Mr. Mayor, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Henry. How are you?
I'm good. I wanted to get back to this issue of Jefferson's statue. There's also a statue of George Washington in the City Hall. First Lady mentioned Mr. Gracie being a slaveholder. Are we going to get rid of the statue of George Washington in City Hall? Is that going to become an issue? Is there a question of whether we should change the name of Gracie Mansion? How far does this go?
Henry, it's such a good question. I'll start, and then if Elaine or Phil want to add, they can jump in.
See a little shrimp.
So,
And now we're gonna make a curry batter.
frame this,
A Cajun curry batter.
being an amateur historian here, but Henry, I think it's important to frame this in the context of a revolutionary nation.
Really just about 2 tablespoons of
We
curry
have
powder.
seen as heroes create a revolution against the colonial power. And when they achieved that revolution, I assure you they changed.
Oh, so this is our Cajun shrimp cooking. With a little Old Bay in it. This is curry powder. So this is our old Thompson curry powder.
Where we are today.
And we're going to cook with about
Whatever involved with human being, you're not going to be shocked to find out that many of them had profound contradictions. I don't know how anyone can fight against the colonial power for freedom and own a slave at the same time. But I think the point is that in many nations, in many societies, people have had to re-examine their history and their symbols. And I think it's the right time for us to do it now. I don't have a foregone conclusion for you, Henry, as to what names will be kept, what names will be changed, when there will be
we
context.
can add our shrimp to our
given to
fried
names.
rice.
But I
We
think
have
this
our curry
commission is
powder
the
here.
right way to do it
You
because
can add
for the
about a
first time,
tablespoon.
Think about this. This is the first time any city or state in America will actually
Our
send
Goya
our
beet
troops.
cake
Having a racial justice
with
reconciliation
pears is
with
cooking.
our city.
So this is, I'm sorry, this is the cake. So this is the cake. This is the shrimp. That's the pasta. That's the corn and the potato boiling. And
It's time for that to happen in America.
we have
America's greatest
shrimp
city.
here. You can use some of your shrimp for the Cajun.
Either one of you want to
Remember,
add?
this is a party, so about 4 tablespoons
I
of
think
curry
we should do
powder.
that. I think this is a good topic for
add
conversation.
our shrimp. So we have our Cajun shrimp.
people in the city
And
on how
a
best
little bit of the shrimp. This is pre-cooked shrimp.
represent our
So I'm gonna use for
and
the
my
rice.
view is that
A little bit of
we
Canadian.
can't wipe away
So it's pre-cooked.
how we got here.
Mix it with the curry powder.
And that every step of the way has
Put a
been
little apple cider vinegar in.
with imperfections, with exclusions, and
So add about 1/4 a cup of vinegar. This is apple cider vinegar.
of every struggle.
Any type of vinegar that you have in your kitchen, your cocina, tu cocina.
And so there are many voices, as the First Lady was saying earlier, that we don't know because their names have been wiped out from history. And
Add a little
think we
chili
have
powder.
to bring them back. Kosciuszko, we have a bridge named after Kosciuszko. Kosciuszko came from Poland.
Add a little
Not
black
only fought
beans.
for the American Revolution against the British,
These are Bush's
but
black
also
beans. You can have
fought
Goya.
to end slavery.
Any type of black beans. Bitter raws. Maybe have black beans.
We need to diversify and bring to light
Then
our history.
making
And
it
I actually like
just
in
one
Washington,
dress,
D.C.,
not a batter.
there's a monument.
Just add a little bit of maple spice oatmeal. Not a half a pack, just maybe a tablespoon. Mix that in. Add a little hot sauce and a little crushed red pepper.
Guess what? Martin Luther King wasn't perfect. And we are not perfect.
You can,
The struggle of democracy, and really what makes it great, is that we continue to get better, we learn from our mistakes and our weaknesses, and that's how we get stronger and more unified as a nation. And that's how we want to approach it.
Good. Okay. Henry, I think you have a follow-up?
I appreciate the answer. Yes, I do. And it goes back to a question I asked probably in early May. And it's about, when does the city feel that the risk of infection is low enough so that kids can shoot foul shots at a basketball court, can play softball, taking care to
for adding Badia, crushed red pepper, you can use Badia, Central.
There are so many ways in which people can accommodate.
So they say these chilies will add a touch of heat to your favorite dishes, commonly sprinkled over pizza, Mexican food, Szechuan, Indian, and Cajun. So Indians and Jamaicans eat curry, they add a little crushed red pepper flakes.
Conduct ourselves accordingly.
It's a great question,
Our
Henry.
pasta or
So,
corn is boiled.
I will only give you personal perspective to frame what I hope is a pretty consistent universal
Our
answer.
shrimp is pre-cooked and we're just heating it.
Elaine was involved in team sports when she was young. I was involved in every conceivable sport, never on any particularly high level. Our kids did organized team sports, baseball, softball, basketball, tennis, you name it. I believe the way to act on this is
So you can deep fry this. I'm not deep frying, just using a little oil.
Monday.
So you can deep fry your Cajun shrimp. This is for Juneteenth.
Still we're ready.
Free the slaves, yeah.
And the next day,
So I read Michael Jordan's restaurants are in Connecticut. I didn't want to talk about that right about now.
really the big litmus test. Page one when
Let's talk about what we need to talk about. My website is intelligentluxurymagazine.com. I love reading books. Michael Jordan Nissan Team 23's website is michaeljordannissan.com. Isn't it interesting? You know, I think he is one of the few Nissan dealers, automobile dealers who are African American. He is the second African American man to own a major professional sports team. The second man to own a professional NBA team, the first man to own a WNBA team, I didn't know that, and then Mr. Bob Johnson, his business partner, the first black billionaire, first owner of a major cable African American oriented channel, BET, and also the first, I believe he still has stock in Viacom, no? So, and then also, I believe he's the first, is he the first African, are you the first African American to own a Mercedes-Benz of Huntsville? That's something that we can think about. So he owns the Mercedes-Benz of Huntsville, Mr. Bob Johnson, and you can purchase apparel Michael Jordan apparel at the Nissan dealership. So the NBA approved a competitive format to resume 2019-20 season with 22 teams returning to play and a tentative start date of July 31st, 2020. The Hornets will be among the 8 teams that are not participating in the restart because of, I think it's due to the fact or the playoffs. I guess they didn't make playoffs, but we love watching the Charlotte Hornets. So remember, Mr. Morning was in the Charlotte Hornets. Is that it? Oh, he's my brother. I didn't know that. Is he my brother or is he my? Oh, that's good. Buy Charlotte Hornets apparel and gifts for Father's Day at Hornets.com. The Jordan brand sells apparel and accessories on Nike.com and on Jordan.com. And that's a great Father's Day gift. Jordan brand apparel. The Jordan's Dior shoe, great Father's Day gift, sells apparel and accessories on Nike.com and Jordan.com. May not be Dior.com. May not be there for Father's Day. And cooking or shrimp.
Thank you, Aaron. I think there's 2 immediate answers I would offer.
Mr. Bruce Sherman is the majority owner of the MLB baseball team, the Miami Marlins. Great Father's Day gift. Maybe y'all can go to Miami, watch some of the practices. Can you? Or the ML or the minor league, the preseason. Look at the schedule here. So this is Marlins.com. I didn't receive my email from the publicity. No, I'm not receiving it.
Look, we talked about yesterday, the news from Beijing, which is obviously very troubling.
Google has a nice Juneteenth image that y'all can watch on Google.com. So the MLB celebrates Juneteenth. This is an annual holiday. So that's good. You can read about that on MLB.com.
And if you think you're asked to do something that is inappropriate in the workplace, for example,
prayerfully learn more if their games are starting on MLB.com. Now, Mr. Michael Jordan is the minority owner of the Miami Marlins, and Derek Jeter is the minority owner of the Miami Marlins.
We need to know that we can stop it. In terms of your question about dining out, look, I think the
MLB or an MILB are websites where you may be able to purchase tickets to a major league and minor league team games. So great baseball games in the minor league. Now our shrimp is cooked. And that.
People you live under the same roof with, because there you do not have to worry about additional exposure. But I would just say if people are thinking about getting together with anyone they don't live under the same roof with,
Caucasian shrimp. We can serve that. People. We serve that in a taco. We serve that with rice. With your Cajun rice.
Take it slow, because we will know more in a few weeks as to what we're seeing as a result of phase 1.
A sage leaf, and that's our shrimp. Isn't that beautiful?
Am I back on?
Yeah.
I have a question on a different topic.
We have our curry shrimp here with our curry dry, kind of a dry seasoning. You can just cook that.
Do you still intend to tell me is that still your position, and what's your response to the fact that the Republicans are taking the opposite position as you are?
But look, sometimes we disagree. And I've had this conversation in great detail with Vincent Kennedy, Deputy Commissioner Miller. I have gone over the language in that bill very carefully with the lawyers at City Hall. We are absolutely convinced that the legislation we do for protecting the lives of our officers, which is absolutely sacred, for ensuring we can fight terrorism, for ensuring that we can fight gang violence. It's crucial to understand that the disclosure the bill calls for, I think, is the right kind of broad disclosure of what kind of equipment is available and what kind of checks and balances exist, what kind of controls to make sure that personal liberty is not invaded, etc. But at the same time, I think it is clear in the legislation, it's certainly clear in state and federal law. Aaron, I want to hammer this. This act does not exist in isolation, which is one of the things I put very clearly to the commission. This act exists in the context of state and federal law that clearly protects that which must be kept confidential in the name of saving lives to breaking terrorism. And clearly protects the fact that anyone involved in public service, their life must be protected too. So I believe the intention of the law is right. We need absolutely that transparency is how we build trust, is how we make sure that every security force, from the military on down, the CIA on down, is doing what they're supposed to do. The public needs to know. But there are checks and balances that we need to protect our officers and protect safety and security for everyone. I believe between what's in the legislation,
You have to cover our cake as it cooks.
it is something legislation.
Next is Matt Chase from New York.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Mayor. I'm wondering, when you saw plywood going up and now coming down, and is the city helping businesses remove plywood?
Matt, that's something we
I'm gonna add oil
Okay, and secondly,
to our frying pan.
concrete steps will be put in place
Use a little
in the next
botticelli,
say, month
extra
to reduce the
virgin
number of
olive
cycles
oil.
that spend. This
Nice
is a
bottom,
question asking
nice
for a
bottom.
recitation of existing programs or panels. We're going to propose something later. It's
I'm adding 1 tablespoon
Matt, we are
of the oil.
going to always.
And I'm gonna add the beans and the shrimp. So this is a curry beans and shrimp with oatmeal.
Vision Zero continues to grow all the time. The formula is straightforward. As you can, especially as
And this is shrimp that you can make for your party. So you can just make this shrimp. You can eat it with your rice and beans, vegetables.
That's what works. That's what
Potato
we'll do.
salad.
Next is Julia from the Post. I'm sorry, we have to keep wording.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Mayor. On the Juneteenth holiday, is that something
Our
to
pasta is completely cooked. Our tricolor pasta from Ronzoni
So,
and
why
Home
not,
Goods.
instate it this week to mark, what you said was a historical and transformational moment in our history?
Sorry, Julia, I didn't understand. The first part I heard, can you do it by executive order? What was that follow-through on that?
If you could, why not do it this week to mark, what you've said is a historic and transformational moment in our history?
Okay, to the first question, yes, I can do it by executive order, and I'll be doing that later on today. The second question,
Wash the pasta, kind of rinse it with cold water.
workforce,
And make a nice.
something like this has to be done through labor negotiations. So we'll start that right away.
Macaroni and cheese.
Obviously, it's a lot of work to get ready for something like this, but we'll implement it for next year. Do you have a follow-up?
Yeah, I do. Thank you very much. Follow-up is, there's another area of apparent daylight between you and your...
We're gonna make macaroni and cheese right on the stove as if we were camping.
Commissioner Shea told the Associated Press
Cooking
he
our
would
shrimp
consider taking,
kind of a little bit
outside
above
schools. He has said that you
low.
might be
It
interested
was like 1.5 boil low.
Julia, he understands, to his great credit, that in a democracy, the decisions are made by the civilians. And the reality is a conversation going on now. And
Our corn in the cob
some of the
squash taco.
taken out of NYPD. I don't think they're right. I'm going to have that conversation with everyone. I'm open.
And this is for all the Native Americans that were
I
enslaved.
do believe in my heart. Parents are very worried about the safety of the kids.
This is Juneteenth.
I went to Northtown on these.
So I made squash. So the squash is now soft after I boiled it for about 20 minutes or more. So this is squash. This is butternut squash. You can add it to the taco here. You can heat the taco.
Parents of New York City want to do things. And how do we do things in a way that's all about performance and innovation? The conversation we're actually going to have to sit down, but I'll tell you my first impulse
And we have our corn on the cob.
taking a lot of weapons out of our schools.
So this is our corn on the cob. And we're going to cut off the corn.
School taking needs to evolve around towards the direction to go this administration has put in place, restorative justice, social emotional learning, neighborhood policing,
Use a knife.
all of that is
Make sure that you don't burn yourself, so you can use a napkin.
So I think that's the best way
And
forward.
hold up the corn. So I'm standing up the corn, I'm going to just cut off the corn.
But I believe we've got to remember.
But you really don't need a lot of the corn.
And everyone
It's really hot, so the corn, so maybe you can use an oven mitt, some type of cooking cover. So you only need like one side of the corn. And then we can add this to our something else later. Or you could serve half of that corn, the other part of the corn to people. People like to put butter on it. There's little, my mom used to have these little things like stick in the corn so you can eat it on the cob. I have that one now.
They want to get rid of the traffic enforcement agents.
And we can add that here.
Sole job is
We can add we can add a few shrimp that we cook that are not seasoned. I don't know if the Native Americans can add salmon.
How does NYPD into another city agency means they
I don't have salmon, but add salmon. We can add shrimp. I'm sure Native Americans eat shrimp too.
taking some units out of NYPD, putting them in another agency, funding them exactly the same way, having them do the exact same work. That may have merit, but I don't want to be.
I graduated college. I had 2 majors and a minor.
There are some things I think.
I graduated from Temple University. I'm wearing an Alizé shirt. Thank you, Alizé. They sponsored one of my events in the past. We're all at the library drinking Alizé with our liquor license. Remember to get a liquor license before you serve alcohol. And only drink if you're over 21, and don't drink and drive. Don't drive drunk. So let's heat up the shrimp to add to that. And why am I using this shrimp? The rest of the shrimp is going to go on our fried rice, our fried brown rice, our fried brown jasmine rice. So it's kind of like our Asian, South Asian, Indian rice. Okay. So we have a lot of squash. Edit. We're going to make our potato salad, so we need a bowl. What can I have in my potato salad?
But it has to happen. So I don't want there to be a misunderstanding about that. I think the anti-crime point, picking up on what you said, is, are there some things that the same people might do it, the same mission has to be done, but they might do it a different way? Yeah, you have to look at all of that. What's your problem?
Yeah, sorry, I don't think I said I'm crime.
These nice big potatoes. And I did not peel this potatoes. And you don't have to. Skin's good. Skins on potatoes. We have 2 potatoes that were boiled, and now we're going to cut the potatoes.
I think that was one of the great undertakings I've heard in a long time.
So we need to cut the potatoes. You can add our regular shrimp to our taco. So our shrimp is heated. It's pre-cooked.
I'm saying it as someone who many a time had to move my car and hated doing it and sometimes forgot to do it, got the ticket and everything else. Ruben, the answer here is all this side exists for cleanliness. And we certainly
And we can add popcorn. So if we microwave our popcorn,
to the standard that we like for all of our restaurants. But in this crisis, we
add popcorn
do with a lot
to
less
our taco.
use of alternate side.
And we have secret popcorn.
We're going to
Microwave
see
it.
a scenario where it doesn't exist, because I think you would find there are many problems, new problems that come up that didn't exist. But can it be on a new timeline? I think that's a very real question. For one thing, I think there shouldn't be any block in New York City where it's more than once a week you have to move your car, and that's something I have raised before, and I want to say to Deputy Mayor Hanglin and Commissioner Trotberg, who know how I feel about this, that we should double down on the work of
Our curry, we can add to rice and beans that you make. You can get recipes on NewYorkTimes.com. Sometimes the Wall Street Journal, I think, on recipes.
and we've been doing it.
So let's add this curry to our Cajun shrimp. So you can serve different types of shrimp. People can have different types of shrimp with their rice and beans.
Ordinarily profound issue is like the food, and again, the meaning of Juneteenth.
Now we're gonna fry.
Well, again, to come back to this point, here is a holiday known and felt deeply by people of
And we're gonna make our macaroni and cheese on the stove
and then almost
after we drain out the water from the masterclass.
It's an obvious metaphor for the whole reality, how people have lived lives apart, how an understanding of our common truth has really never come. I have had a personal journey coming to understand this more and more, and I'm still working on it. But I can tell you, just in the context of the life I've led out in the cities of this city, working for the first African-American mayor of New York City, through the joy and the privilege to be married to our First Lady and to become a part of her family. I've learned incessantly that we as white Americans don't know a lot about this. Juneteenth, let it be a beginning for all of us who don't know enough. Recognition. And every one of us, doesn't matter what race you are, what ethnicity you are, every one of us once and for all coming to grips with the truth of New York City and then doing something. That's actually how we honor all those before us. And that's the way we make New York City worthy of the greatness that the world sees. Thank you, everybody.
We're gonna make our macaroni and cheese in a masterclass pot. We're gonna add our pasta, our bologna, and our tricolor pasta. Thank you, Mayor de Blasio. So he talked about Black Lives Matter and naming the streets after Black Lives Matter. It's a really great idea. And I told you about the streets that would be probably named after Black Matter. I'm going to show you this here. Now I'm going to play, what should we play, huh? Let me play James Taylor. Hey Google, play James Taylor. So this is Juneteenth. However, James Taylor has the audio book. And he's from North Carolina, so we were talking about North Carolina. And Michael Jordan owns Secure Tequila. So for your Juneteenth party, go out and purchase Secure Tequila. I know it's at the Northvale and the ShopRite Northvale Liquors. Not in ShopRite, but ShopRite Liquors and other liquor stores might have it. It's about over $60. And one bottle is about $200 to $300 or more. Today I'm wearing my Alze shirt and my Walmart shorts. Y'all see it? And my Walmart flip-flops. And I'm probably changing into a dress. So now, let's make our macaroni and cheese. We're baking our beet cake. So this is the beet cake, like on a campfire. You just put it a little bit, one level above low. That's why it's not cooking, people. One level above low, and cook it. And that's your beet pear cake. Like on a campfire. So Mr. Michael Jordan also attended the University of North Carolina. 3 years, good time. So it's good to attend school. Got a good job. Why graduate, right? Hey, I wouldn't have graduated even if someone offered me millions of dollars, you know? But it's still great that we attended. It's still good to take courses at libraries. Keep reading. So on my website, IntelligentLuxuryMagazine.com, there's a book about Michael Jordan. There's a book that Derek Cheetah wrote with Simon & Schuster Publishing, and Kobe created the Wizard series. So there's links to his books there. I didn't put the other books up. That's not what Kobe said to me. So I'm going to add the Sargento to our macaroni and cheese right above the stove. If we're camping, I'm going to add this shredded cheese. So this is Juneteenth. I'm going to dance. This is Sargento off the block sharp cheddar, shredded natural cheddar cheese. You can add Foodtown sharp cheddar cheese, sharp yellow cheddar, fancy. And what else am I gonna add? Blue cheese. I'm gonna use all this Cabot. Hey, people at Cabot, it was so great. We were in Long Island. We were at an event, and Cabot cheese is there. We have different types of cheeses. So this is Vermont, extra sharp cheddar, white cheddar cheese. So this is Cabot Gourmet. Thank you, Cabot. It's really interesting. It was such an amazing event, but there was a lot of bad weather. So a lot of event planners like myself wondered, what can we do about bad weather events? It was such a nice event. But also, we were talking, we met people. So these are cheddar, white cheddar slices. I'm going to add that. So just break it in half maybe. So y'all can follow me on Instagram at Intelligent Luxury Magazine or on Twitter. So maybe the governor will speak to that, I don't know. Maybe he can cook. So we're making this African American dish. What should we pick? So let's play Smokey Robinson, African American songwriter. It's June 10th. We'll play Stevie Wonder. This is great. Ragtime is great. Remember about ragtime? Is that slavery? Any slave songs? Oh, don't we love the internet? I bet the librarians, call librarian people. I'm gonna play Wade in the Water. Let's play Wade in the Water. Who sings Wade in the Water? Sade has a slave song. Is that? Can we play Sade's slave song? No? Hey Google, play Sade's slave song. So,
Sade on Google Play Music.
I said Sade's slave song. This is black music. So let's play Wade in the Water. Who sings Wade in the Water? Wade in the Water. I like that song, Wade in the Water. Ella Jenkins. Anybody know Ella Jenkins? They say Wade and Water is the name of a spiritual first published by New Jubilee Songs. So they say on Wikipedia. I like Wikipedia and Encyclopedia Britannica. Wade in the Water is one of the songs in Alvin Ailey's 1960 signature ballet Revelation, which I saw at BAM in Brooklyn. Beautiful show. If y'all haven't seen Alvin Ailey's show, you must go see Alvin Ailey's dance theater shows. I think First Lady Michelle Obama was on the board, and I was a dancer. I took hip hop at the Alvin Ailey next. I hope they build another one. I hope I can still take classes. So it's so much fun. I love to dance. I always laugh when people dance because I just love to see people dance. And I am considered a bad dancer to my mom because she's a good dancer. That song is great. My mom is a good dancer. Oh, we have to pop our popcorn. And we can get our Frigidaire air conditioners gauge. The lights go out. Something happens. Just minutes so I need to cook this. I'll be back on in a couple minutes. Less than 4 minutes. I put that on 323. 23 is Michael Jordan's number. What was his number when he played for the other team? When he retired, I don't know. Sorry. I should know, right? I'm learning. I'm a lifestyle sports reporter. So I know that he wears great jewelry and clothing in that Last Dance, which you can watch on video on demand. I'm mixing the pasta. Don't break the pasta with the Cabot cheese, with the Sargento cheese. And you can use Sargento cheese slices to put this on top of the cheese of it after we finish adding our blue cheese. So our popcorn is popping. We're going to put that on our Native American tacos for all the Native American enslaved. And we're done. And make our cocktail from our mango. So that's Caribbean. Remember all the people that were enslaved in the Caribbean. I can't drink. I had this great soup from Sakana last night, from Sakana in Nanuet, New York. Really good soup and sushi. I had a salmon sushi. That was good. You can have brown rice sushi. And what else am I doing? So for all our Italians, all the Africans enslaved in Italy, all the Africans that ate Italian food in Italy, we're going to make a eggplant that we fried eggplant from a Greek restaurant. We're going to add a little of that to our taco. And I think we have Cracker Barrel cheese. Wait, what am I adding to it? We're going to add a Cracker Barrel maybe? Do we have Cracker Barrel? So I kept it in this plastic container. So this is Cracker Barrel Extra Sharp Yellow. I'm gonna add that. This is just a celebrating freedom. We can dance after some African dance. They do have African dance at the Alvin Ailey Annex. And they have modern jazz. And I actually went with Danielle, who owns Feast of History.com. Great cooking she has on that. Danielle, when I get a car, I'm going to get over there. So I'm praying for Danielle there. So, she has, I don't know if she has tours in the Bronx anymore, if she did, or she's planning to have tours in the Bronx. So our popcorn is done. We'll burn the popcorn. We have our popcorn. Native American. So I like to shake it. You don't have to add any butter. Ooh. Be careful when you open up a bag of popcorn that's really hot. Let's add this Cracker Barrel. We're just using everything that we have in the refrigerator. So I'm just gonna add just a lot. Just a lot. I'm adding all of this. This is TV, y'all. Don't add all of this. Just add the serving size according to how many people you are going to cook for. So dance after eating this. I mean dance. This is Juneteenth. So cut these into rectangles. My grandmother makes it differently. I don't know how to make it. And don't turn on the stove. You have to add milk. cut it. Sorry, I dropped something. Have to wash the dishes, people. Now I have to chop this. Let's try to cook this before our guest, Juneteenth. So remember, everyone makes macaroni and cheese. Just add what you want to add. I'm adding different types of cheeses for Juneteenth. A lot of slaves were enslaved in Europe, in Ireland, United Kingdom, Italy. So this is our macaroni and cheese. A little bit of the blue cheese. We're gonna add Parmesan, the Italian food, or the African food, enslaved in Italy. This is actually shredded from Belgio Isa. Oh, and he's in Wisconsin, Denmark, Wisconsin. Great place. Hello everyone in Wisconsin, that's nice. So add about half a cup. Remember, this is Juneteenth, let's celebrate. And let's play Wade in the Water. So I'm trying to find an artist who's singing Wade in the Water. And so note that I went to Kingdom Hall. I should play a Kingdom Hall song. It's like classical music, Wade in the Water. Let's see who plays. Let's see. We're gonna see. Hey Google, play Wade in the Water. So let's play a Negro spiritual.
Wade in the Water by Eva Cassidy. Sure.
Oh, so this is a European American woman who sings Wade in the Water. There were European abolitionists who wanted the slaves freed. Clean this stove. So we're gonna just take a little break. Let's listen to this Wade in the Water. Hey Google, turn up the volume 3 levels.
In the water, God's control. Who's that yonder dressed in red? Wade in the water. Must be the children that Moses led. God's control. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's control. Who's that yonder dressed in white? Wade in the water. Must be the children of Israel. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. In the water, God's control.
use the restroom. Great.
Today is Friday, Juneteenth, and New York is declaring it a holiday in recognition of the ending of slavery. So I gave everyone today off, and I can handle this last daily COVID briefing alone. After 111 days of hell, they all deserve a break. We all do. Today's facts are more good news, and I don't even need a PowerPoint to explain them. The hospitalization number is 1,284, the lowest number we have seen. We conducted 79,000 tests yesterday, which is a record high for us. And we have the lowest weekly infection rate, less than 1%. And we have the lowest weekly average of lives lost, 25 souls each day, and we'll remember them in our thoughts and prayers. All regions of the state have lower infection rates, and the state experts have gone over all the data, and they will allow New York City to begin phase 2 on Monday. But COVID isn't over. We still have much more to do. We have to monitor the local infection rate. Local governments must ensure compliance and do tracing. We have to watch out for a second wave. We have to watch out for possible infections coming now from other states. And many people need help to get their lives back to normal. But with all of that, it's clear that over the past 3 months, we have done the impossible. In the beginning, this virus hit us hard because it actually came from Europe after we were told that it was coming from China. When this started, we had more cases per capita than any state in the country or any nation on the globe. But today, we have done a full 180. From worst to first, we are controlling the virus better than any state in the country and any nation on the globe. Even more, by reducing the infection rate, we saved over 100,000 people from being hospitalized and possibly dying. Just think about that. It is an unimaginable achievement. I'm so incredibly proud of what we all did together and as a community. We reopened the economy and we saved lives. Because it was never a choice between one or the other. It was always right to do both. Today we are seeing the virus spreading in many places. More people will die, and it doesn't have to be that way. Forget the politics. Be smart. Open the economy intelligently and save lives at the same time. That's what we showed works in New York. We owe thanks to so many people. To our heroes, the healthcare and essential workers, to our legislature, our colleagues in New Jersey, Connecticut, and neighboring states, local governments, the Army Corps of Engineers that did a great job, and most of all, to the great people of the state, who rose to the occasion, who joined hands, and did what they had to do. I want to thank all the people that helped me personally. My team in state government, led by Melissa DeRosa, with Rob Mahika, Dr. Zucker, Jim Malatras, Stephanie Benton, Linda Lacewell, Gareth Rhodes, Jill DeRosier, Larry Schwartz, and so many, many more. I want to thank my Cara, Mariah, and Michaela for keeping me grounded and making me laugh at times that I thought I would cry. Thank you to all the people who send me letters and tweets and wave on the street or give a thumbs up. I can't express how much it means to me. Your energy keeps me going, and your smiles lighten my soul, and I thank you. To the 59 million viewers who shared in these daily briefings, thank you. Thank you for giving me the benefit of the doubt. Thank you for believing in me and giving me support. Good Lord knows I needed it. And don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Someone said to me they were concerned because she relied on me to know what was happening. I will still do what I do. We just don't have to do it every day. And that's a good thing. And let's hope it stays that way.
So this is urban.
I know this period has been incredibly hard on all of us. I thought about it every day as climbing a mountain.
I'm adding
The Mount Everest of social challenges. 42 days up the mountain and 69 days down the other side. Every step, every day hurt and was hard. It was frightening and sad. But I really believe we will be the better for it. I believe we are. I was talking to Michaela the other day. She was supposed to graduate from college this year, and she was going to have a great ceremony and a big party. And I said that I was sorry that she would miss that, but she said something interesting. She said she was disappointed about missing the ceremony, but that she had learned a lot over these past 3 months. She learned about herself, she learned about government, she learned about people. That she had gotten an education just when she thought her education was over. She's right. And after 62 years,
organic brown
when I thought that I had
rice.
seen it all,
This is from
I got an
Lundberg
education
Family
too.
Farms.
A few weeks ago, I had been thinking that I was disappointed that we didn't get to unveil our new state seal that our legislature just changed to add the words e pluribus unum, out of many one. We did it back in April because we thought the country needed to remember at this time of division that Americans are one, that we are united. To remember that our nation's founding premise and enduring promise is unity. But then I realized in many ways we did something even better. We didn't just put the words on our state seal. We made the words come true.
From Aldi's.
We made the words come to life.
A chili cashew
In this
from
crisis, we
any
were
peanut
united.
company.
We were there one for another. We did act as one. It was extraordinary. I've never seen or felt anything like it.
1/3 cup of it.
I asked myself, and today I ask you, why did it take a crisis to bring us together? Why does government usually appeal to the worst in us rather than the best? Why do our politics today play to our fears and weaknesses rather than appeal to our strengths? Why doesn't government challenge us to reach higher and speak to our better angels? Why can't it motivate us by love rather than hate? Why doesn't government urge us to realize we are members of the same community, the same family, and that we all benefit when we work together? Isn't that what we really showed over the past 111 days? That working together works. That the only way forward is if I protect you and you protect me. I wear a mask for you and you wear a mask for me. If you care for me and I care for you.
So I have it on low.
We showed that in the end, love does
It's
win.
a nice, quiet, happy
Love
routine.
does conquer all. That no matter how dark the day,
So sometimes it has a
love
little
brings the
liquid
light.
in it. You drain it a little.
That is what I will take from the past 111 days. And it inspires me, and energizes me, and excites me. If we could accomplish together what we did here, this impossible task of beating back this deadly virus, then there is nothing that we can't do. And we will be better.
Half a cup.
And we will be stronger for what we
of
have
this
gone
ricotta
through.
cheese, of cottage
And it
cheese. This
shows
is
us how
low-fat cottage
capable
cheese.
we are
You can use ricotta.
when we are at our best. It shows us that we have great potential to do even
For
more,
all the
and we
Africans
will.
enslaved in Italy.
Now New York must lead the nation on police reform and lead the way on building back better. We must lead the way on re-energizing our economy and protecting our environment, and then welcoming a new era of civil rights and social justice. I know that we can. We learned that our better angels are stronger than our demons. And sometimes we just need to listen
Barnes &
for
Noble.
them.
Barnes & Nobles is open.
Over the
in some
past
places.
111 days, we have.
So always just mix
And it was
the ricotta cheese in. Don't
Let's
break.
keep listening.
So slowly
together.
mix in the ricotta cheese
Thank
with
you for
our
everything, and God bless.
Sargento shredded sharp cheddar
The
cheese.
first day I went before the people of New York State and I said, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you
And
the
our
facts
cracker
the
and
way I
barrel.
know it.
Our
We
cracker
are
barrel.
going to fight every way we can to save every life that we can. I did one thing right as governor that I'm proud of.
Cheese doodle.
I got the people involved in this situation to a greater degree than they have been involved probably in modern history. This was of such a magnitude that unless
She's a cup of this blue
people
cheese.
engaged and
And this
understood
is horse head. So
and bought into this, government was impotent.
You can use any type
People
of
had
cheese.
to understand the facts, and
the
people had
Atmos,
to engage
Black Bear has
in
blue cheese.
governing
About
themselves
a cup,
in a way they hadn't in decades.
cup and a half.
And 10 years from now, you'll be talking about
Remember
today
we put our Ronzoni,
your children
triple
or your
color,
grandchildren,
and then our
and you will shed a
pasta,
tear
color pasta formula,
because you will remember
goods.
the lives lost, and you'll remember the faces, and you'll remember the names, and you'll remember how hard we worked, and that we still lost loved ones.
About a half a cup
We
here.
changed that trajectory. I didn't even know it was possible at one time.
You can use reduced fat milk if you want reduced fat cheese.
It's about what people decide
Stir
to do
slowly.
and what people have decided to do. They have brought this infection rate down. Nurses, doctors did a phenomenal job. First responders did a phenomenal job. Essential workers did a phenomenal job. But that rate came down because people changed their behavior. You have 19 million people in New York. They decided on the facts that they would comply. And they've done things I would have never dreamed that they would do. We have the lowest rate of transmission. The phased reopening is working. Stay the course. And we all
So
have
for
to stay
starter, we're going
responsible.
to add butter beans.
Because
or
we
habas
are New
grandes.
York tough.
About a
And
half
I love
can.
New York because New York loves you.
Don't have to add the beans if
New
you
York
use
loves all of you. Black and
brown
white
rice,
and brown and
or whole
Asian
grain
and
pasta
short
with
and
like
tall
about
and gay
4 to
and
5 grams
straight.
of fiber maybe.
New York
As a
loves
nutritionist.
everyone. That's why I love New York.
And this is
And at the end of the
cheese.
day,
You can
my
add shrimp
friends,
to this if you
even
want.
if it is a long day, and this is a long
We're
day,
gonna have barbecue short ribs.
love wins.
You can add chicken
Always.
and fish. I don't know about fish. You can have it with fish. And we have ricotta cheese in place of ricotta. And don't forget tomorrow's Saturday, so hashtag New York Tough is what the government's talking about. We have cheese noodles. I'm gonna add about a cup of cheese noodles. I'm gonna mix it. And then you can put it on top after we finish. So I'm just making a Juneteenth, once a year macaroni and cheese, celebrate freedom in Texas. We're gonna talk about Galveston, Texas. Is the governor finished? So now, our corn. See how our corn is? People can eat this. There are little sticks that you can buy that you can put in. So, let me think about what's going on here. We can serve our corn with our shrimp. Frying our rice. So remember, we're celebrating Juneteenth. Remember about the licensing expo. You may be able to watch a few of the conferences or webinars today. I remember David Yurman sells cufflinks, maybe watches, maybe men's jewelry, not watches. Remember Art Basel? They have online viewing rooms. So Art Basel's in Miami and in Europe. Remember to watch Aspire TV. So if you want to, you can watch Aspire TV. And Juneteenth is an official paid holiday in the state of Virginia, says Aspire. And Governor Ralph Northam called this great. So watch Aspire TV. Remember to go to Net-a-Porter. Remember about your CLE attorneys. And remember about the sales at Bloomingdale's. So I'll post the sales at Bloomingdale's after the show. There's a virtual educational town hall Friday. Sorry, I'm waiting for the governor to continue speaking, or did he finish speaking? I'm having little issues. Elder Corps, I was conducting research about African American interior decorators, and they have an article that was written in 2019 by Monique Valeris, and it's titled 12 Black Designers Reveal the Career Advice That Transformed Their Lives. So you can read about that on eldercorps.com. Our macaroni and cheese is on low. We're going to put it about one level and a half above low to make the cheese melt. We mix in everything. So we have this here. This is the macaroni and cheese, blue cheese or crumble blue cheese or cottage cheese. You can use ricotta. And then we have cheddar cheese from Cracker Barrel, cheddar, white cheddar from Gourmet Cheddar from Cabot, C-A-B-O-T. And then we have shredded Parmesan cheese from Belgioso. And we added our beans. So we added butter beans, so they're white. You can add chickpeas or garbanzo beans, white. So people don't even know there's beans in there. And we have our cottage cheese, and we're gonna have an interesting Italian taco with the ravioli, you know? So we're gonna add eggplant. So you can have the ravioli. And we're gonna have our sun-dried tomatoes. For our potato salad, we have to cut up our potato, and we can cut it up into squares or cubes. Then we have our plastic container. Just gonna put it in here. I'm just waiting for the governor. Sorry, something's going on. The Architectural Digest, they have a show for the public, usually in the spring, and they have an article, 25 Black Interior Designers Speak Frankly About Their Career Successes and Challenges. This was written by Shayla Martin, June 28, 2019. So I like that magazine. That's a magazine that was at the library where I worked. So I like reading that, I like purchasing it. But we have this potato, it's boiled with the skin on. Cut it in half and then slice it. So the slice looks like this, and then cut that slice in half, and then we'll have a nice potato salad. Put the potato salad in the plastic container. Put the potatoes in the plastic container. So with this size we're using for our potato salad. Don't smash potatoes. And I have to cover up my macaroni and cheese. microwave Pop Secret. And this is extra butter Pop Secret. And we just use a little bit of the popcorn for a taco. So Native Americans love popcorn. Something that's here, so maybe we'll use it in our Italian. You have a red Spanish onion you can add to our fried rice. And you have to make a potato salad. Cutting our potato salad, adding the butter beans to our potato salad for fiber. Sorry, my connection. I think it's over. Something's happening. As we wait for this connection to connect, sorry about this. We talked about the Novant Health Michael Jordan's Family Clinic's website is nhmichaeljordanclinic.org. The Cornerstone Group owns restaurants with Mr. Michael Jordan, and they own restaurants in Connecticut, Illinois, and the state of Washington. So Michael Jordan's Steakhouse Connecticut website is mjshconnecticut.com. Michael Jordan's Steakhouse Washington website is mjshalani.com or ilanie.com. And then the Alani Resorts website is ilaniresort.com. And then more information about Mercedes-Benz is on MBUSA's website, mbusa.com. On my website, Intelligent Luxury Magazine, there are links to Michael Jordan's restaurants and to his automobile dealership and to Mr. Bob Johnson's Lodging Trust, and other links on IntelligentLuxuryMagazine.com and his Mercedes-Benz automobile dealership in Alabama. So remember, Adweek, Next Tech, Programmatic, and Beyond. Explore the future of digital advertising, and that's in July. You can go to adweek.com for that information about that live virtual event. I read an alert from the Chicago Tribune, and they have an article today about eager to head back to the lakefront, a rising Lake Michigan historic high water mark awaits. So you can read that article on the website. And we're chopping 2 potatoes for potato salad. It serves about 5 people. I read about African American bookstores today, and they're Source Books sellers, and they're in Michigan. They're in Detroit, Michigan. And you can go to sourcebooksellers.com for more information about that store. For Father's Day, there's the BoeingStore.com, and they sell apparel, Boeing apparel, and they sell model airplanes, headphones, boom pods, hush wireless headphones, guitars. They have a Boeing 777 bronze model. So hello to the good people at Boeing. Encyclopedia Britannica today has a lot of information about people born on this day, like Mr. Nowitzki, Dirk Nowitzki from the Dallas Mavericks. You have James I, King of England, Scotland. Filipino political leader and author Jose Rizal. And others. Miss Felicia Rashad. Thank you for letting me interview you when we interviewed. Then we all like the Cosby Show. Cut that in half. Today, there's a virtual education town hall at 6 p.m. about reopening of Florida's K-12 schools, universities, and colleges. And it's Zoom ID 824-4943-6886. Is that it? I don't know what that is. Is that a real ID? Oh, Lord. So, Mr. Marshall Chrysler III, Chancellor, State University System. Kathy Heba, Chancellor, Florida College System. Jacob Oliva, Chancellor, K-12 Public School System. Dr. Larry Robinson, President of Florida A&M University. Dr. Barbara Jenkins, Superintendent, Orange County Public Schools. And hosted by the Representative Bruce Antone, Senator Bobby Powell Jr., and Florida Legislative Black Caucus. So follow them at FL Black Caucus.com. Is that Twitter? And then streaming on social media on Facebook at FLBLK Caucus or Zoom ID. So thank y'all for that information. As we cut this is a potato salad. A lot of African Americans love potato salad, and it's Juneteenth. So in New York, Governor Cuomo said it's a state holiday, and people in the government are able to get off at 1 p.m. They may make it a state holiday next year too, something like that. Today, this potato salad is going to be great. So we use 2 potatoes for about 5 people. And we can have our wicked apple. You can mix that with your spearmint from your indoor garden. You can mix it with mint. You can mix it with apple juice if you're over the age of 21. Our fried rice, we're going to cook our shrimp. Our cake is cooking, our macaroni and cheese is cooking, and we're going to add some things to our rice. So we're going to add about 1 tablespoon of oil. And this is a Botticelli extra virgin olive oil. You can use vegetable oil, rapeseed oil, peanut oil, sesame seed oil. I'm going to add garlic. So I'm going to add about 4 tablespoons of garlic. And it's on low. And then 4 tablespoons of garlic. I'm going to use a yellow onion. So I washed this outside of the yellow onion. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to add some of this Japanese tofu from the sushi restaurant. So about 1 square tofu. Just a little tofu. I'm going to cut the tofu and add it. We're going to add a half an onion to the rice. Let's talk about Greenwood, Oklahoma as waiting for the connection. So this morning on CBS, they talked about Greenwood, Oklahoma, and they talked about black businesses in Oklahoma in Greenwood. So they talked about in 60 Minutes last week, one of the worst race massacres in history. A neighborhood in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Greenwood was among the wealthiest blacks. That's what CBS News said. So we're going to talk about Greenwood. We're going to peel the skin now that we've cut it. We're going to peel the skin, throw the skin away. You can dice this onion and chop it into little cubes or squares. Our fried rice. And we can add the other half for our potato salad. Remember to add beans to your potato salad for a little fiber. So I'm going to add butter beans from Goya. And you can use any white bean. So T.D. Evans, according to Wikipedia, was the mayor of Tulsa, Oklahoma from 1920 to 22 when the race riot occurred. And if you go to the cityoftulsa.org, they tell you more about Tulsa. And they talk about economic development. We can add our onion to and we can cut our tofu, put that into cubes. So I'll show you one of the cubes. So this is tofu, it's just soybeans mashed and cooked. So tofu is good. On the cityoftulsa.org website, you can learn more about building your business remotely, the U.S. Trade Administration local update. So maybe we'll talk more about that at another time. Let's talk about Galveston, where the slaves were alerted that slavery ended, or the slaves were told that slavery ended. We're adding our cubed onion. We added about a quarter of the onion to our fried rice. We need to add a half, I'm sorry. And we could talk about visiting the island. So Galveston is an island, and you can visit the island. So they have special events that you can attend, maybe be a vendor or an exhibitor. So there are great special events in Galveston, held at Apfel Park Pavilion, Stewart Beach Pavilion, and other public beach areas. And maybe you can host an event, or be a vendor at one of the events. You do need a permit, a loudspeaker permit, and an application. So that looks like fun. And then there's the Moody Gardens Golf Course. So there are different festivals in Galveston. And they have a Juneteenth festival today, no? Adding a half to our fried rice, and we're going to add no Spanish onions or yellow onion we add. We add a garlic powder. I'm going to add a little spicy mustard, about 1 tablespoon spicy mustard. I'm going to add about 1 teaspoon of teriyaki sauce. So we'll add about a teaspoon of teriyaki roasted garlic from Kikkoman. Stir the teriyaki, the mustard, the spicy mustard. You have shrimp, chili lime cashews, black beans, and wasabi peas. So it's kind of like a Asian with jasmine brown rice. And we have to add a little water. Just to cook the rice, brown rice, just add a little water, about half a cup. Just add. And we're going to add chili powder, just a little, about 1 teaspoon. So you can use chili powder without salt. If you have chilies, if you have the dried chilies, you can use that. You can look at my recipes when I made dried chilies on youtube.com/NickRocks. For some reason my connection's not connecting to the governor. So I have my Alizé shirt on. adding beans. So we're gonna add our butter beans to our potato salad. Have my Temple shirt on again. What else was I on butter beans shirt? I'm gonna add black beans. So adding that, salad of black beans. Juneteenth, all the people enslaved in Latin America, Spain. For this is June, our Juneteenth celebration. Apply to the University of Pennsylvania, UPenn.edu, University of North Carolina, UNC.edu, Harvard University, at Harvard.edu, Temple University's website is temple.edu. Temple University is where I graduated from, so I have my straps. And I have my Temple Owl shirt, so I'm Owl. And remember about Union Square Hospitality Group's restaurants in the tri-state area of New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, maybe other places. And the Cornerstone Hospitality Group has several restaurants. So the message on Juneteenth, the First Lady and Donald Trump sent their warmest greetings to those celebrating Juneteenth this year. On this day, 155 years ago, said Donald Trump and the First Lady, African Americans in Texas first heard the righteous and long overdue words of General Order Number 3, all slaves are free. These words confirmed for still enslaved people in Texas that the Union Army would enforce and defend their freedom, announced nearly 3 years earlier by President Abraham Lincoln in his Emancipation Proclamation. Juneteenth remind us both of, says President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania, of both the unimaginable injustice of slavery and the incomparable joy that must have attended emancipation. It is both a remembrance of a blight on our history and a celebration of our nation's unsurpassed ability to triumph over darkness. That ability is rooted in the fundamental goodness of America and the truths upon which we as a nation declared an end to our states as the subjects of a monarch and emerged as a free and independent people, that all men are created equal by the hand of God, endowed by our Creator with the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These words form the heart of what Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. called the promissory note to which every American was to fall heir. The celebration of Juneteenth marks an important milestone in the hard-fought journey to make good on that promise for all Americans. This Juneteenth, we commit as one nation to live true to our highest ideals and to build always toward a freer, stronger country that values the dignity and boundless potential of all Americans. So that was really well written. That was good. I'm waiting for this Governor Patch. I don't know if he stopped speaking. So we will just wait. And now something's wrong right now. Our cheese is cooking and melted. So we're just going to bake it a little bit for a few more minutes. So we're kind of baking it. It's going to be great. And you melt it, melt it. So this is for when we're camping. When you're camping like the slaves did when they escaped, not escaped, when slavery ended. Now we're gonna make our Italian taco. As we cook our potato salad, we're going to add Hellmann's mayo, mustard, celery seed, and relish. If you have relish. If you don't have relish, you can just add a little sugar, a little celery, maybe a little broccoli. Oh, not relish. We have alouette and cheese. You can add sweet relish, you can add Indian relish. Add a little sweet relish. So we're going to add about a cup of relish. So this is sweet relish. You don't have to use sweet relish, you can use another type of relish. We have garlic. Let's add our garlic after we wash our garlic to our fried rice and our Italian taco. Our macaroni and cheese is cooking. I'm gonna melt it. I believe it's totally almost cooked. There's a lot of water there, so kind of let that dry. We're going to add ginger. So I'm going to cut this ginger. And this is fresh ginger. And then this is ginger. So you can buy ginger in a jar. And you have to take the skin off the ginger. And cook our ginger in our rice. And that'll be our fried rice. So just use a knife to kind of peel the ginger off. The skin of the ginger. Then I'm going to talk about Art and Historical Preservation Advisory Board in Galveston. And this is on galveston.gov. So if you go to galveston.gov, you can read about that board. So they're looking for applications for funding hotel, motel, occupancy tax revenues, so that's good if you want a hotel in Galveston. And hotel, motel occupancy tax funds can be used for advertising, marketing, promotion directed at visitors or potential visitors to Galveston, and production of special events with visitor appeal relating to historic preservation of social. So if you travel to different websites, the official tourism website of Galveston Island, Texas is galveston.com, and you can read about the different events that are hosted. So today, the June 19th celebration is on Ashton Villa, and it's Juneteenth Freedom Day, so that's on the galveston.com. So Texas State Rep Al Edwards died, but he made Juneteenth a state holiday. And I think a memorial service will be held. Is this year? I'm gonna play this video.
Good morning. As you know, I recently arrived under orders from General Grant to take command of the Military District of Texas. We've established our headquarters here in Galveston. This morning, I have signed a number of general orders to be carried out throughout the entire district that will be promulgated later, both in print and by speech. To this august body, I would draw your attention to General Order Number 3. The people of Texas are informed that, in accordance with the proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. Let me say that again. All slaves are free.
All slaves are free.
This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. The freedmen are advised to remain quietly at their present homes and work for wages. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts, and they will not be supported in idleness either there or anywhere else. By my hand, Major General Granger, to be promulgated by the Adjutant General, Major Emory, this June 19th, 1865. Ladies and gentlemen, the war is over. The slaves are free.
That was a Juneteenth proclamation reading at Ashland Villa in Galveston. And I sliced...
Good morning. As you know, I recently arrived...
Garlic. I'm going to show this on my blog. Adding ginger that I sliced. So the sliced ginger, you take the skin, you remove the skin, save the rest of the ginger for another meal. And we're adding a little Badia red pepper. So I'm going to add about maybe 2 tablespoons of this crushed red pepper. So we can serve this right in this dish here. It's like if you were a slave or in former slave, you cooked over the fire, serve it right in this dish. You serve a cake over the fire. And yeah, let's get to our Italian food. Our cake, when the cake is cooking, you see it's dry. Then we have to just put a spatula, a soft spatula, in on the sides, and it came out before, it might break, but it didn't break on me before. You have to turn it down when it's cold. It should be removable after you slide. let's make our eggplant. So you can use eggplant or not. So cut your eggplant, add that in one of your sun-dried tomatoes that are pre-washed and cut. This is from Reedmark. Good enough to use with Reedmark from a Whole Foods Market. I'm adding this to a frying pan, about 1/3 or a cup of sun-dried tomatoes. We're gonna make a sun-dried tomato with a shrimp. I'm sorry. So we're gonna use shrimp. So if you like it, you can make tacos with the seasoning, with Goya seasoning mix, Ortega, or El Paso. Where did I put the shrimp? Oh Lord. You can have Port Wine cheese and club crackers. This is all for Juneteenth. It's hot. Y'all hot? Oh, more shrimp. Are you going to shrimp? Oh, Lord have mercy. This cooked shrimp. Are you going to cook shrimp, I guess? So we have, here's our fish. That's what you want, shrimp. So let me hang these things here. And add our fish. So I'm going to add tilapia. Let's use the tilapia and the fish. So let's cook our pre-shrimp. Our pre-cooked shrimp, let's heat it. So this was for the slaves that were enslaved in Italy. finished making our potato salad. We're reheating we're heating our tilapia, our shrimp. Adding about 2 tablespoons of spicy mustard from French's since 1904. 2 tablespoons. And that's about 1 tablespoon. Add another. So this is French's spicy mustard. You can use any spicy brown mustard. So this is spicy brown mustard. Ew. Add a little black pepper, like 1 teaspoon. And add celery seed. Add celery seed. Add a little garlic powder. About 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. And onion powder. I'm sorry, there's onion powder. About 2 tablespoons maybe of onion powder. And we have to add our onion. Did I add my onion? Did I add my onion? A little of mayo, but we're gonna definitely add. I'm gonna add celery seed, about 2 tablespoons of naturally pure celery seed. You can use any type of celery seed. You can use celery. I don't have any celery, and as stirring the fried rice with black beans, so it's like a Spanish Asian mix. All the enslaved in every nation. Cooking our shrimp, we're going to remove the tails once the shrimp is heated and once the fish is cooked. And then we're going to add thyme. And add about a tablespoon of thyme. I think the governor stopped speaking, or our connection is just disconnected. Now, Galveston, Texas is interesting. You can go to galvestontx.gov for more information about how to start a business in Galveston, Texas. And we'll talk more about Galveston. They have coastal resources and planning divisions, economic development, and historic preservation information. The cake is finished, so I'm gonna turn off this cake, adding about a tablespoon of thyme. I'm adding a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. It's marjoram, thyme, rosemary, savory, oregano, and basil. And we have basil in our garden, in our indoor container garden. I'm adding about 1 tablespoon of this seasoning. Onion powder to this. I'm going to add garlic powder to the potato salad, about 2 tablespoons. And I'm going to mix this. Don't break the cubes, not mashed potatoes. And we start. So after we stir, we add our mayo. And you have a nice salad, potato salad for Juneteenth. So what are we going to play for Juneteenth? Let's look at my list. Ooh. So thank you, Governor Nkomo. Maybe he can cook one day on my show. If he knows how to cook. I have a list. I'm going to stick to my list. And I'm going to play. Hey Google, Parliament, play Parliament.
To play media, you can say, play music by Drake, or play hip-hop videos on Living Room TV. You can also use commands like pause
Hey Google,
or continue.
play Parliament.
Okay, playing Parliament on Google Play Music.
So this is very Juneteenth. This is a nice the Friday party for Juneteenth. Sauce here, my sriracha hot chili sauce. Dancing with the governor. No, I don't want to date the governor. He's older than that. Not that he would want to date me. Hallelujah! I mean, this brother, you're good looking, man. So I just added water and just going to add this to each other. This is Cummins Real Mayo. cup. So I'm not eating all this food, but this is TV. I don't want to wait. This is how we celebrate June 19th. So I like reading Martha Stewart for recipes, real simple. Essence Magazine, Ebony Magazine, allrecipes.com. So about a cup of mayo. Cook TV, Ella Rogers, Bayless, and Ring, Caribbean, Crate TV. So, first of those people on Crate TV, Jacques Pepin. I hope I'm free of this person. Asian rice.
Well, all right. Gotcha. Citizens of the universe, recording angels. We have returned to claim community. Partying on the mothership. I am the mothership connection.
Hey Google.
Down in 3D.
Hey Google.
Right here.
Hey Usher.
Alright, here's Usher on Google
I think
Play
it's
Music.
1/2 onion and Well, there's no profanity on this song. Onions, so I'm gonna add 1/2 onion and just chop it. And cut it into some slices. Usher.
Ridiculous. In the club looking so conspicuous. And wow, these women all on the prowl. If you hold the head steady, I'ma melt the cow. Forget about game, I'ma spit the truth. I won't stop till I get them in their birthday suit. So give me the rhythm and it'll be off with their clothes. And then over to the front, and jerk your toes. I left the jag and I took the roll. If they ain't nothing, then I put them on foot patrol. How you like me now? When my feet
Java Jaguar or Land Rover. That's on Route 7.
you the one to please. Fill cups like double D. Man, that's what's more when we leave them dead. We want a lady in the street, but a freak in the bed that say. Ludacris got the flow to make your booty go. Take that, rewind it back. Lil John got the beat to make your booty go.
Hold on a minute, I'm sorry. Hey Google, turn on the level, 3 levels.
It's at the highest volume.
Hey Google, turn down the volume, 3 levels. We're adding with this Kelowna garlic and onion sauce. We're adding about a half a cup. And this is going to be for our Italian taco for Juneteenth. For the enslaved Africans in Italy. There was slavery in Italy. about 1/2 cup of this 2% milk fat, low fat cottage cheese, you can add 1/2 cup of ricotta. You may have a press secretary, if any, it's going to hold a briefing maybe. Hey Google. Hey Google. Hey Google. Play. Hey Google, play Phil Collins. Oh, this is Juneteenth.
Play music.
Play Phil Collins, I think. And then we're gonna play a little gap band. You can add Italian seasoning on the top of this potato salad, just as you serve. Let's see, it's like an that. And we're gonna make our short ribs. We are going to add, we have our beet cake, pear beet cake. You have to use a cake mix of thing. We're cooking our macaroni and cheese. You just have to use it on the side. Cake. The cake should I'm melting the Sargento cheese on top of the macaroni and cheese.